Let's break down behind the scenes on a real fix and flip transaction in progress on today's episode.
You are listening to the Champion Hustle podcast. Play to succeed in business and in life. Featuring Levi Hunsaker and Ryan Black.
Hello and welcome to the Champion Hustle podcast. This is episode number 35. My name is Ryan Black.
And my name is Levi Hunsaker. How you doing,
guys.
Ryan?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I am super excited to cover the topic today because, this is what we do. This is our jam. Real estate and flipping is a big part of what we do. And so it's going to be really fun today to show a little bit of BTS or behind the scenes, what it is. What we're going to share is, a kind of the first walkthrough. We've got actually a recording where on this deal, when we walk through it, we have a recording, so you and I are going to give an awesome commentary track on, kind of what's going on there and what some of the challenges are. And you guys are going to love it. It's going to be really cool. So on TV, right, there's like the fix and flip shows and they always show that stuff. That's so fake, stuff that they show there. What we're going to be showing you right now is actually real, unscripted, like true, real, authentic behind the scenes. So I'm excited about that. But we have an announcement before we dive in.
We do have an announcement. So before we jump into what we've got going on, we just want to remind you guys to head over to championhustle.com and go get your free 7-day Champion Hustle Quick Start Boot Camp to help you get started by leveling up your business, whether you're starting out or just looking to launch a new product, take your business to the next level. That boot camp can help, and we're offering that to you for free. Just head over there and sign up, and you'll get it in your email.
Awesome sauce. Now, this podcast that we do is obviously, it's a video podcast. It's an audio podcast. Today is going to be more favorable for those of you who are watching the video version. Why? Because we're going to be giving commentary for a video. So we're going to try to be descriptive if you won't truly only have access to the audio version. But the video versions, where can they find those, Levi? Access to the video?
So video, we have our Facebook group where we post the video each week of this podcast episode. And that is at championhustle.com/Facebook. Or you can go to championhustle.com/YouTube and also get the video.
Awesome. So the property we have here is a single-family residence located in Ogden, Utah, which is about 30 miles north of the capital city in Utah, Salt Lake City. And it's about 2,600 square feet. What's interesting about this house is that it is actually, it was abandoned for over 10 years. We were able to verify that with the neighbors. I don't know why it was abandoned, but it's obvious from some of the items we found in the property that this used to be student housing, probably some time of a party, college student party house, because it's. You can actually see into the stadium of the Weber State University from this house. So it's right next to the university, great location, and just a really interesting house from the street. It doesn't really look like a house, but that's because it's built on the side of a mountain, and you kind of go down and you keep going down and down and down and down. Very, very unique property.
So with this property, now one of the things that we heard from some of the neighbors around when you and I were up there together is that this property was actually owned by a foreign investor. So just kind of a weird thing where the foreign investor just didn't really pay that much attention to what was going on with this property. The windows, the wood window frames, they were all rotted and like leaking water inside the house. Just a ton of disrepair things that were going on with it. Yeah. Just from the exterior of the house leaking into the interior, causing damage as well.
Yeah, and that's one of the big considerations, right? When you have a property that has been abandoned, is houses decay, properties decay. They're not designed to be abandoned. They require upkeep and maintenance, and so there can be additional issues that pop up because of that, which you may notice in this video. So here we're in the entryway. And you may notice the beautiful golden wallpaper. All the walls and the ceiling and the entryway were covered in gold wallpaper because, the 1970s called and wants its wallpaper back. But
I'd say I'd want it in my house, but my wife might get really mad at me.
Well, I should have saved some. I could have given it to you. So now we're passing down the second story, and then we'll come down here to the third one. I guess we'll kind of start here. One thing that's interesting is you'll notice here, this is kind of the big room. You got that bank of windows across the back. Now, every property is unique, and when considering what are the features and amenities in a property that will affect its sellability, you got to look at the good and the bad. And one of the biggest selling features of this property is that wall right there, because the property is on the side of a mountain, and you have floor-to-ceiling windows that give you a full view of the entire valley. You can see the mountain, the Rocky Mountains, and the entire valley all throughout. Daytime, nighttime, it looks absolutely incredible.
So this right here is what I call the money shot.
Yeah.
Because that view is what is going to sell this house. And nobody's going to build behind it ever, because this is the Ogden Trail System for what would you call it? Outdoor recreation and trails is all behind here. So that's kind of preserved land.
Yeah, they've got mountain biking trails and hiking trails, and it is a unique location. Nobody's going to be messing with that. And actually, you definitely won't have anyone, because the lot, it's a really big lot. And
it goes straight down.
Yeah. You can't have anyone, nobody can build there because it's part of the parcel. Another thing you may notice, you see all these kids. When we do real estate, it is a family business, so we get the kiddos involved. Here, you'll notice there's a couple of couches, a pool table. A lot of times when we pick up properties, we get the junk that they left, and so that's something that we need to factor into our cost as far as demolition and trash out. Being able to get some of those items removed. It is what it is. We buy properties as is, with everything that's included inside of them. So that was there was a lot of garbage in this house. So the kids are enjoying playing with the pool table while we're walking through. This was actually our first detailed walkthrough on this property. When we initially found the property, I guess I didn't give that info. When we initially found the property, it was through a wholesaler, and it was something where they actually. Oh, here we go. Pause that right there. Boom.
That's the money shot.
Yeah. So incredible view, panoramic views. But when we first were made aware of this property, it was a pocket listing through a wholesaler. He said, "Hey, look, got a couple of people I'm sending this to. I'm not sending this out to my whole list. We'll send it to you because we know you're a serious buyer in this area. If you want to come and look at it today, you can." And so we did. We went and walked it. It was us and two other investors. There was only three of us that walked the property, and we had about 10 minutes to walk the property. It was that was it. Walked it really fast, and so this is like our first official walkthrough, detailed, really looking at things. And that was Friday afternoon.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Before we move on, you said something really important. This was a pocket listing from a wholesaler. Now, for any of you that are familiar with real estate investing, wholesalers have big lists of people that are investors. Now, how do you position yourself to become a pocket listing with a wholesaler?
Through relationships, right? It's all business. I know we keep hammering this, but business is all about relationships. And so, to make yourself, you really have to make yourself stand out from the rest of the crowd. And so that's something that we've been working on doing for a while, is developing those relationships with the guys that are the wholesalers, so that they can see that that we're serious, we're experienced, we're ready to rumble. We've got the cash, we're ready to close, we can close fast, and that we keep our word. And so and we're committed to a good long-term relationship that works for us, that works for them. So in doing those things, that is what helped us get access to this pocket listing, because they said, we'll just throw it to a couple of our top buyers, and so they did, and we ended up. It was Friday. It was about noon that we walked the property, and then it was about 4 p.m. that he called back and said, "Hey, you can do this price, and if you can close Monday, you got it." Now this is Friday afternoon. We're like, okay, yeah, we could do that. Now we knew it was going to be a bit of a work, and it was. Make a couple of phone calls, raise the capital, coordinate with the title company, make sure everything can get moving, because it's over a weekend is a tricky thing to close, but we got taken care of. So it was all knowledge and relationships. That's how you do these things. It's funny that you mention pocket listings, because I'm actually the whole relationship thing on my other computer here right now. If you see me turn to the side, it's because I'm texting the next deal that I'm negotiating, which is relationship based with a different wholesaler, completely different wholesaling company. And so if I start jumping up and down during this recording, it's because I just locked in our next deal. But so yeah, relationships. You got to be at the right price. You got to be at the right terms. But having that relationship value is so powerful in any business, definitely in real estate. So let's continue through enjoying that beautiful view. Yeah, I mean, and I've been there when it's at the property when it's snowing. It's just like magical, or the sunrise, sunset looks incredible. So gotta love the golden carpet and everything that's included there. The stairs, I love those floating stairs. That's a good example of an element that really is unique. Whoops, I just closed my video. Let's put it back up there. That's really unique, yet is the way they had it with the carpet over the stairs, not so cool. So we are going to be actually refinishing those stairs with some laminate. But here we go. This is, what do you think about that?
Old school kitchen, yellow appliances, yellow countertops. I'm sure that any of us who are older than like 20 years old have seen something like this before.
Yes. Now, when I walk into a kitchen that looks like this, I love it. I get happy because I was thinking, sweet. Only an investor is going to buy this because it is fugly. It is really bad. And it is just, yeah. And it's interesting. That oven, that range, the oven is actually, it's in one piece. I've never seen one like that before. So you've got the oven, the cooktop, and the mic. That was probably like the original microwave, right? When it was invented, is probably, because the house is 50 years old. All in a single unit. It was really cool. But yeah, this... you see
so
these
this
kind of
right here is an opportunity to actually create a wow factor, because looking at this, that you're going to rip all of this out. Now, what are some things that you could do with this? Well, you could basically put brand new stuff in and make it look exactly the same, just refreshed. Well, that's not very interesting, but when you can actually restructure the kitchen and make it more functional for today's homeowners instead of the homeowners from 50 or 60 years ago, that's when the real value comes into a property. So what are some things that could possibly be done to this?
Well, and that's one thing that we looked at, right? When we were when doing it, what we decided to do was, because of the price point that this property and the neighborhood that it's in, even though it's an older property, it's quite a more desirable, affluent neighborhood in the city. And so we did a full demo, ripped everything out, and actually keeping a similar layout, slightly different. We're actually adding an island in the middle. But as far as appliance locations, those are going to be the same. And but all new cabinets, nice hardwood cabinets, new countertops, and all the works, right?
Very nice.
So,
all right, let's keep going.
Cool. So we got the kitchen. Yeah, it's
So now you mentioned to me those cabinets that were on the right side there, those are all getting, well, they've already been torn out, but they're going to stay out, right? Those aren't, you're not putting anything on that wall again that's kind of closest to the center staircase.
Correct. Yeah, and that's because, when you look at designing, something like a kitchen, well, it really applies to everything in the house, but really your number one priority, I mean, look how clean that dishwasher is. There's no way that they've been using that for 50 years. This is, but here, put it there. Yeah. So if you look there on the left, you can see there are those cabinets. The width, and I don't have the measurements memorized, otherwise I'd tell you, but the width of the room is such that this was the best layout when they originally designed the kitchen. And because of the structural complications with how this house is built with 5 levels on top of each other, we can't be blowing out walls and reconfigure. I mean, we could, but it doesn't make sense from a cost standpoint. So we're not doing anything structural on this property. You look at the utilization of how easy, from a utilization standpoint, how the kitchen is laid out, and then you look at from a design standpoint of what's popular. And there are different styles of kitchens, right? You have galley kitchens, you have L-shaped kitchens, you have U-shaped kitchens, you have box kitchens. There's all these different styles of kitchens as far as layout of where the appliances are, where seating area is, whether you have a raised bar or an island or other things. When this property was built, that wasn't a thing. But nowadays, your modern buyer likes having an island. It gives you more versatility. And so because of the width restrictions on the room, we couldn't put an island in unless we didn't replace those cabinets on the left-hand side. So we've got basically on the outer wall, the exterior wall, we've got the cabinets. Then we've got a 3-foot walkway, which is, good enough. It's standard. 3-foot walkway. And then we've got the island, and then we've got another 3-foot walkway. Now the challenge is an island wouldn't fit with those walkways, and so for the island, rather than doing a standard cabinet, which standard cabs are 24 inches deep, we did 18-inch cabinets. So when we've got the 18-inch cabinets, 18-inch cabinets plus a 1-foot hangover on the countertop, we're only 28 inches on the island. So it's a 28-inch deep island. So it's a little bit shallower versus a 36-inch cabinet. And that difference makes all the difference to where it fits. So sometimes you really got to be creative and think outside the box to be able to, nobody's ever going to notice, hey, this island is not standard, width like most houses. Nobody's going to care. They're just going to be ecstatic. Hey, this is a smaller kitchen and there's an island in here. Awesome.
They might care, but it's probably going to be a few months after they move in. But I mean, ultimately what you're getting the look, you're getting the functionality, you're getting the versatility of still having an island without maybe as much space. So a lot of it comes down to just what you said, that creativity. What can you adjust? What can you change to make the space functional for what people today want rather than when the home was built?
Yeah. And that's where you hit the nail on the head there, Levi, because I mean, right now, still open concept floor plans. People like that. So that's why one of the common things that we often do is we'll blow out walls and connect and make big great rooms and stuff like that, because that's what people want. So yeah, it's you gotta be up to date on what's going on with all that. So here, this is interesting. This bathroom.
There's a great shot right there.
Yeah.
Right into the toilet.
Kind of scary.
And that's an even better shot right there.
Yeah, me saying, that's disgusting. I don't know if you can see in here, but this is interesting. This room is actually, so it's adjacent to the kitchen, yet it's a half bath with the laundry. So once again, looking at function, not the greatest. And so we actually did end up changing that. That half bath is now a full bath, and the laundry we ended up moving to a different location in the house. This is a dining room, a formal dining. Gotta love that plywood over the window. They actually just replaced the windows this last week, and they look incredible. And so this was, sometimes for new investors, it's a little bit hard for them to visualize what it's going to look like afterwards. But man, with time, you get so adept at walking in a room like this and seeing it with the ugly curtains and the rotted wood over the windows and the janky carpet, and you truly can see it of what it's going to look like afterwards, and that's what gets us excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's the opportunity in investing is really the vision. That's why investors get paid, because they can see the vision, they can put the project together, they can bring all of the pieces of the puzzle together to create. And so in your business, in your real estate investing, any of this stuff, you get paid for being able to create something. And this right here is kind of an inside peek at the, I guess, creative process that an investor is going through in their own mind as they are walking through a property.
Yeah. And that's true. I like that you brought that up, because it really does. The same principles totally apply to any business. Absolutely. And seeing that potential and seeing that vision. This was, this is the hall bath. Do you remember this bathroom and what it smelled like?
Oh my gosh. So I went with Ryan to this property with my daughter, and she opened the door, and that wafting smell was so bad. It's one of those things where like the carpet, they put carpet in the bathroom. Who puts carpet in a bathroom? Let's be serious here. Like, that's just a recipe for mold and mildew, and
Funk.
Like, this carpet was soaked with urine. Like, that smell just permeated the whole house. It was terrible. And my daughter walked in, opened the door, got hit with a wall of stank, and then was like, oh, and then it hit me, and I was just like, what just died? Hey. It was terrible.
Shouldn't have gone in there. Shouldn't have. The door was closed for a reason, Levi. And it's funny because there's a you see the little can of like the air freshener that's on the.
It didn't work.
Nah, that doesn't help. But here, you look at, and once again we see potential, right? You're looking in here and you see, okay, you got the gold carpet, kind of a really ugly vanity, and bathtub that's old and rusty, and none of that matters. It's all coming out. It's all coming out, and it all did come out. We actually did some pretty neat things here with these bathrooms, but yeah, that's
we'll talk more about that when we get into the master bath.
Yeah, because this is just the hall bath, and I think I got a shot here of all damaged,
just old and crusty and damaged, but it's all going to be nice and new and fresh, and so the new buyer that's going to come in and get this house is going to get to enjoy the changes that you're making.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this, man, they're going to love it. So this is the master bedroom, complete with a mattress. Now.
And an esposa.
Yep, and my wife. Yep, we do this all together. We're a team. So this is, so it's always fun walking through properties with her. We always have a blast. This master bedroom, you'll notice there's 2 windows, and then you have 2 smaller closets. And that's, kind of a his and hers closet. Going back to, look at this. We got some free videos, some free books.
8 weeks to optimal health. That's what I'm talking about.
But going back to the utilization thing, you got to look and think, okay, what would people want in in a master bedroom? They want a walk-in closet. They don't want small his and hers closets. That's not ideal. And so we actually modified that. And this got some
sweet morning glories.
Yeah. Here's the bath. Okay, boom. So here's the bath, the master bath. What are some of the things that you notice, Levi, when you see this master bath? What are your first impressions?
So the first thing is carpet again. Awful. Yeah. There's a couple of things. A, it's good that there's already a master bathroom in this property, because buyers expect, especially higher end buyers for an area, expect a fantastic master bathroom. This one, it's a little bit small, and it's only got a shower. There's no tub, and so somebody that wants to have a soak is going to really be put off by this being the master bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, the first thing that I really noticed was the width, right? You'll notice, there's a standard size for bathrooms in most run-of-the-mill construction, and your standard full-size bath is going to be 5 by 8 feet. That's the size. And so anytime you're less than, it's less than 5 feet wide on the walls, it's gonna feel claustrophobic, and it's gonna feel different. You can have less than 8 feet and it still doesn't feel, if it's like a half bath or whatever, but if you're less than 5 feet wide, it feels claustrophobic. And I don't remember the width on this, but it's a lot less than 5. So it really felt claustrophobic. And the conundrum as we're walking through and looking at this, we're thinking, okay, how can we improve the performance of this? How can we take a small master bedroom and make it larger, take this horrible ensuite bathroom and make it nicer, and give the master bedroom a walk-in closet? How do we do all that when we can't add on any more square footage, and we're very, very limited structurally with any changes that can be made?
And that right there is the investor's challenge and the investor's payday.
Yes. Which we did some incredible, we came up with some awesome solutions. So basically what we've done is we took the other hall bathroom, the stinky one, and this bathroom and one of the closets that was in the master. No, I take that back. We didn't include the closet. We just took the 2 bathrooms and then a hall closet that was in the hallway, blew all the walls out in between them, combined them all into one single bathroom. So now the master bath is actually where I'm standing right here in the video. Where I'm standing is basically where the toilet is now. So we rearranged the layout completely. It is a nice large bathroom with a double vanity. The toilet's kind of tucked away, kind of around the corner when you come in, so it's not, it's kind of hidden. So the focus visually of the bathroom when you walk in is a beautiful wall-hanging European-style vanity with marble countertops, gorgeous, and then solid marble, not cultured, solid marble countertop, and then we have a big, 6 foot wide, nice walk-in shower that's with gorgeous decorative tile, high-end tile, and then behind the shower, a freestanding soaking tub. So it is, it's incredible.
You made it a point to point out that the countertop was going to be legit, solid marble, real stone.
Not cultured, yeah.
Why would you choose that for this property? Because that question, you should always be answering yourself those questions as you're walking through these properties and you're thinking about what you're going to do to them. Why would I put it in this property, right? You don't do anything unless it gives you a return on your investment. And go ahead.
No, I would say that's a really, really good question. Basically, every property, every area is different, every market is different. One of the things that we need to know is we have to identify who is my buyer. And that's something that we identify from the beginning. Who is my buyer? And so, this area is, this house, right? 2,600 square feet. Are you going to have an elderly couple purchasing this house with 5 levels and all the stairs? Absolutely not. Is this going to be a young family, right? With babies or young children? Absolutely not. Like, I would say when you look at the yard and everything else, you do not, it's just a disaster waiting to happen with tiny little kids or babies. It's not, this type of property is geared towards, maybe a business professional, maybe somebody that works at the university, makes good money, maybe has, a couple of teenage kids. This is not a house geared towards a young family or an older couple, just because of the layout. And so while it does have, well, when we bought it, it had 3 beds. Now it has 4 bedrooms. But, you have to understand who your buyer is going to be, and then you make the finishes according to that end buyer. So with this, it's going to be, a single person or a couple. The other bedrooms don't matter as much. The other bedrooms are not as important as really honing in on the master bedroom or the master bed, the master bath, and the kitchen. And there are certain things about this property that are just not, well, they're negatives, right? They could detract a little bit from the saleability. And so we have to be able to offset those things with other elements that are really going to attract those buyers. So that's why it's really important to really understand when they walk in the front door, what journey are they going to take? And typically for most properties, your buyers, as soon as they come in, their first stop is going to be, no brainer, the kitchen. They're going to go to the kitchen and look at that first. With this property, because the kitchen is actually 2 levels down, they're most likely going to hit the master bedroom first before the kitchen. And so with those changes, we were able to remodify some walls and give a walk-in closet to the master bedroom. We actually blew out the opening, and so rather than a standard 30-inch door on the master bedroom, we actually have a 5-foot wide double French doors going into the master suite, as well as the upgraded bathroom. We put more into this bathroom than we normally would on a property at this price point because this is what they're going to fall in love with first. And we want it to be a really big first impression. Not to mention the master bedroom, the back wall is a shiplap accent wall, which is really beautiful. One of the windows, the one that has the best view, we actually blew that out, made it about twice as tall to give a much bigger panoramic view. So there's all these little details. You might be thinking, well, that's going to cost a lot more. It is. It does. But that doesn't matter because we have the ROI. Because we have the ROI.
And a big point to make on this is that you know what you're putting in because you started by knowing your market and knowing your customer. Just like in any endeavor, know your market, know your customer, and then you know what to do. And that doesn't mean you have to have a vision of what it is, but that doesn't mean you have to know every single detail right up front. You just have to know what's next and maybe a little bit ahead, but just keep that process moving and keep going.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get stuck. You get stuck in analysis paralysis.
Yeah. And it really is. It's interesting because, what we do, it really is a combination of, look at that comforter, man. I should have kept that. That could have been a Christmas gift for you next year. Man, Levi. Sorry.
That I can re-gift white elephant gifts as good as anybody else.
Who said anything about white elephant? So like this closet here, that closet is now part of the walk-in closet. So we combined 2 adjacent closets into one in the middle of the walk-in closet and then built out a new closet for this room because it was a good sized room. So yeah, there's kind of garbage everywhere and stuff, but
free art.
Hey, yeah.
It's in a frame and everything.
Yep, it's all there. So, and a lot of the standard stuff, you look and see, okay, we got to redo, outlets and trim and doors and paint and flooring and light fixtures. On this property, windows as well had to be updated. They were single pane windows. A lot of them you could actually, stick your hand through the windows because they were broken. But it is. What we do is a combination of art and science. There's a lot of the numbers, the analysis, market analysis.
Hold on right there, Ryan.
Oh. Yep.
Oh, we missed it. Anyway.
I can go back.
As we're seeing walking down the stairs, there's these kind of floor to ceiling wood slats.
Oh, yeah.
Like top to bottom. Each level has these, that's a perfect angle right there.
Yeah.
So top to bottom, it has these wood slats. Now, it's old, it's outdated. It's nice wood, but it's not a nice look for this house, because if you're sitting here walking down the steps, you would kind of feel like you're in a prison every time you're walking down the steps. That's the feel that I got in this.
Yeah.
You know, the prison bars. So this all right here, would you leave something like that, or would you be able to open that up and have space and the ability to see what's happening in the area as you're walking down?
Yeah, that was a good question. So I personally, I thought they were kind of cool. The bar, the because I'm like, because they were continuous from the top level all the way down. So I thought, yeah, these are kind of fun. I kind of liked them, and I thought they were neat. But you're right, it did give the kind of the prison vibe. And because if you look behind the bars, you'll see running diagonal, you'll see the stairs, the floating stairs, and then you'll see the stringers. The stringers are the side supports that actually, so you have the tread of the stair, right, where your foot goes on, and then the stringers are the diagonal, the lumber that goes diagonally that the tread bolts onto. It supports the treads. So here's for all of our listeners, your Construction 101 class for today. So the stringers are floating stringers, and they affix on the, right, because they go between two levels. So it affixes at the top of the upper level, and then it affixes at the bottom. But the stringers, the vertical bars or posts are not providing any structural strength to the stairs. The stairs are floating, and so it was easy to get rid of those bars. And then we're replacing it with a custom-built metal, modern, continual handrail that's going to start at the top and wind its way down, 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 down. And that does a couple of things. It gets rid of the prison feel. It really accents, highlights more those floating stairs, because with this, you kind of lose the fact that the stairs are floating. So it gives a little more accent to that. And then it just gives it a more modern feel and a more open feel with a little bit of an industrial feel, right, with the black powder coated metal. But yeah, that's what we went with.
Well, and to meet code, I don't even remember seeing a handrail on these stairs.
I think there was at one. I think some of them had handrails, and then the other ones you could see where there used to be a handrail that had been ripped off. Right?
Maybe that's what it was.
You can see the paint marks, and then the screw holes where there used to be one affixed. So yeah. So on this, with the structure, with stairs can be tricky. It's important. For example, speaking of code, I'm glad you brought that up. These stairs with the floating stairs, the treads, originally they were covered in carpet, and in order to update the house, we're going to obviously get rid of the nasty carpet on the stair treads. So we ripped that off, and we were thinking at first we were just going to sand and stain the stairs. Turns out the condition of the wood was not as good as we had hoped, even though they'd been covered since the beginning. So we're going to simply cover them with a real nice laminate hardwood flooring on that. LVP on the stairs, we'll wrap them in that, and they'll look great. But the challenge is now that the carpet is gone, the gap in between each tread is not up to code. Once again, this is not a house for little kids or babies, but the gap is more than 4 inches, which is not up to code, and it's dangerous because you could have a young child that could get get their head stuck in between there and strangle or get seriously injured. So as we modify, the reason I'm sharing that is as we go through and look at not just design and utilization, there's also code, there's safety things, there's certain things that will always, when we go into a property, I don't care what it costs, if it's a safety hazard, we're going to fix it, because we want to have a clear conscience knowing when we sell this property, whoever buys it, they're going to be fine. Whoever lives here, we don't want to, want to make sure that we do things right. Good karma. So yeah, there's lots and lots of little details. I mean, I could go on for this. I don't even know how long we've been recording. We're probably way over our normal time on this one. And this is just an initial walkthrough. I hope you guys are finding this interesting, because there are so many things that are going through our minds as we're walking a property and as we're creating that plan. This is a little spooky down here.
It's pretty dark down there. Ooh, light. Yeah. There we go. So now this is the mechanical room that Ryan is walking into on this video.
Yep. There's our old furnaces.
Yep. The water heater is... Man, would you get out of the way so we can actually see?
Sorry, let me tell my past self to do that.
Okay. Pause.
Oh. Pause.
We caught a glimpse.
Oh. Right there? What do you...
No, back it up. The mechanicals.
Oh.
So in here, in the mechanicals, you'll see that there's a double furnace in the back of this mechanical room.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a water heater. So the water heater is actually in fairly good condition, and it was not even really used because there wasn't a lot of water flowing. It was not running most of the time, so it's got a lot of good life left in it.
Yeah.
You know,
we didn't touch it.
But those furnaces, those are some pretty old school furnaces.
Yeah, so those are original furnaces from when the house was built 50 years ago. And, to get my HVAC talk on here, when, obviously if you have a larger square footage house, you'll typically have multiple systems for HVAC. Anytime you have a multi-level house or, a tri-split or a bi-split type of a layout in a house, a big challenge is maintaining temperature consistency throughout the house because heat rises. And so this house, with having 5 levels, we could have merged all of the trunk lines together and just done a single system for the whole house, but it really would not have provided the HVAC. It wouldn't have been a good result for the end buyer. And so we didn't want to do that. We were able to negotiate and get a real good price to be able to update and replace both furnaces with 95% high efficiency furnaces, as well as actually I just got a text from our HVAC guy in the recording that he just finished getting those installed. And also we added air conditioning to just the upper system. We didn't need it in the lower system. The cool air is going to fall down. So we got air conditioning in the upper. Currently, when we bought it, there was no cooling whatsoever. No cooling, no swamp cooler, nothing. So we were able to add that and get that put there. So the HVAC can be a big expense, and you got to understand what you're dealing with.
Well, and another thing that's very unique about this property is pretty much everything but the top level is not going to get as much sun exposure just because of the angle of the house, the way that it's built down the mountain. And so that right there is actually going to provide inherent cooling. So it's just understanding how all of the different types of ecosystems within the house are playing together, but still making it so that the homeowner will be able to get their comfortable temperature level at each level within the house. And I think that the system doing it like this will achieve that. Yeah,
absolutely. And you also look at, once again, who is the buyer? This is a neighborhood that is very kind of nature. It's up in the mountain. Almost every time I go to the property, I see deer walking in the street, right? I mean, there's deer everywhere. it's in the city, but it's more rural in a way. And so, a lot of the people up there, they probably enjoy just opening the windows and getting the fresh mountain air versus, doing the air conditioning. But there may be a couple of weeks out of the year where it does get a little too hot up there. So having that air conditioning is something that the buyer will really appreciate. Down here, we added, where I'm standing is actually a bathroom now. So there's a full bath there. We demoed out all the shelving that was all gone. And there's now a full bath in there. That closet I'm walking by, that's now the laundry room. And then this little other room here, we got rid of the fireplace. That is incredible carpet that is still there. We didn't take that out. We didn't need to. We're just going to cover over it. And we actually framed in a closet and added a casement window. A casement window in here to meet code so that this can now be a legal bedroom. So that is the last bedroom. So when we bought it initially, it was a 3-bed. It was a 3-bed, 3-bath house, and the bathrooms were. It was a full bath, a 3/4 bath, and a half bath. And now, once we finish it, it'll be a 4-bed, 3-bath house, right? 4-bed, 3-bath, but there will be 4 beds and 3 full baths rather than a full 3/4 and half. So definitely increasing the value there, the property value on that. But yeah.
Well, and so it's important to note why the value is increasing. Because you increase the usability of the space.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. Can you increase the function? Can you increase the usability? How can you modify it and add value? This is a lot of times we say don't focus on appreciation because that's just kind of a cherry on top. Mm-hmm. What we're talking about there is market appreciation. That's something that you cannot control. But when you change the use and function to the highest and best use of a property, you're doing something that we call forced appreciation. You are forcing value into the house by changing things about it.
Yeah.
So that's really what we're focused on when we're looking at flips is how can we force that appreciation and how can we add value and usability so that someone is going to see that value and pay me what I want for the house.
Yeah, and how do we force that? I don't know if you can hear that, but I think there's a fighter jet flying over my house right now.
There is. I can hear it.
Okay. And the key is how do we force that appreciation in the quickest amount of time and with the best return on investment? For every dollar we put in, how can we maximize our ROI on that coming back out?
And, depending on money costs, you're also racing time.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of this balance, give and take. You've got to figure out time, materials, use, and put it all together into one plan and then go execute.
Yeah. One final thing, because I know we're way over our usual time limit on this.
Way
one.
over. That's okay though.
But one final thing I just wanted to touch on is, I remembering back when we were getting started in this, in real estate. I remember walking through these types of properties and thinking how do they do it? How do they visualize? How do they get the vision? How do they understand what to do, what not to do? It was just so foreign to me. It felt a little bit overwhelming. I would see other people that would show, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then once they explained it, it's like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. But I lacked the ability to be able to walk into a hideous, ugly, nasty place and instantly see, oh, this is what we would do. This is how we would do it. This is how much it would cost. And this is how much money we would make. That was so foreign. So if that's something that you're, thinking, if you're where I was, 5 years ago, a couple suggestions. One thing is, the key with all of this is knowledge and relationships. And so you got to learn from the people who have been doing it and are experts in the field, and then surround yourself with other people who are doing it. Because one thing that was a huge benefit when we were getting started, well, still to this day, is we have a lot of friends who do real estate. And we go and we check out their properties and we learn from them. Hey, what'd you do here? Why'd you do that? Hey, this is kind of cool. I like this idea, And so we always have takeaways from them in learning from what they're doing. Participating in the parade of homes is a great option. Not so much for this type of application, but just to know in general kind of what's hot right now, what's going on with trends and design and amenities and features in properties, because those parade of homes are all new builds. But still, you can get some great ideas from that. One thing that has continued to be of great value for us is, as we go around and check out other properties that our buddies are doing, is doing tour workshops, house tour workshops. So I actually wanted to extend an invitation to all you guys that, if you're still watching this episode, you're interested in real estate. And I invite you, hey, reach out to one of us, reach out to Levi or I. We can give you some information, because we do have periodic workshops where we'll actually go through basically what you saw today, but go through it live and in person. If you're not local.
And if you're not in person, we broadcast it online and you can ask questions. That's the important thing, because a lot of you might have questions that are just sitting in your mind right now and you're wondering, okay, well, what about this?
Right.
What would it do for you if you were able to talk to one of us and ask that question and get a response on the spot?
Real time. Yeah. So I just wanted to extend that invitation. We do have those that we do periodically. So yeah, I mean, you know how to contact us at championhustle.com. Simply reach out to either one of us, and we're happy to get you connected with some information, because that is how we learned. That's how we learned, and now it's like second nature. It's super easy, but we continue learning. Every time we go, we learn something new, and we'd love to share that knowledge with you too. So hope this has been fun. It's been fun for me. I've just been talking a lot, so maybe I'll shut up now.
Yeah, you have. I can't even get a word in edgewise. So, this has been kind of a deep dive. Like, that video that we just walked through was only about 9 minutes, but the conversation in our heads goes on much longer than that, as we're trying to figure out, okay, what might we do to make a property more useful and more valuable to somebody? So yeah, just reach out to us and we can get you connected with how you can get more involved with that, and a community of investors that really are all about sharing knowledge and sharing value, so that you can go do this yourself. And come back. Join us next week, because next week we're going to be talking about the Where's Waldo of business.
Awesome. We'll see you then, guys. Take care.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Champion Hustle podcast. For more great content and to join our online community, visit us at championhustle.com.